Yo, so I decided I'm going to watch more Apple stuff because I started using an Apple 7, right? Then I got the Apple SE. Now I got like a new iPhone. I got an iPad. I feel like I'm fully into the whole Apple ecosystem. So at this point, might as well watch some more.
In this video, I have over 20 hidden features in iOS 27 that Apple didn't
Yes.
tell you about. Let's go ahead, roll the intro, and jump in
I
right
need
now.
to take my time and actually use those features because
All right, number one is copy and paste suggestions. You know that really useful feature on your iPhone whenever you get a security code either texted to you or emailed to you, and your iPhone instantly prompts you to put in that code? That feature has now been expanded into copy and paste. So here, if I go into Safari, for example, if I go ahead and copy this text, let's just
yeah.
go into a random message thread. You can see here above the keyboard now, it's recommending I paste in that text from Safari. And you can see it's going to tell you which app you copied that text from.
Nice.
So with one click, I can put in that text that I copied. All right, next up at number 2 is your iPhone can now support more horizontal apps in iOS 27. The first one I noticed is music. So here is my now playing screen. If I go ahead and rotate my iPhone, you can see music is now in landscape.
Can it work
I noticed
on
it also
third
works
party?
in a bunch of other apps like weather. So here is weather. I don't think it worked in iOS 26 in the weather app, but you can see now when I rotate my iPhone, it goes into landscape mode. It does also work in a bunch of other apps. One other one I'll show you, for example, is health. So if I go ahead and search for the health
It's
app,
more like
I can open it just like this.
okay.
I can rotate my phone.
So basically like apps that Apple made, like more
Now
like
health is supported in
it
landscape
can't
as
be
well.
third
So I
party
think
apps.
this is a system-wide change. Apple is supporting a lot more apps in horizontal mode. Kind of reminds me of the iPhone 8 Plus back in the day. But try it out on a bunch of your favorite apps, and I think there's a lot more support now for horizontal mode. All right, next up is inside of Photos. I have two really cool ones to show you.
Hold
The
on,
first
let me
one is
try.
for videos. So I'll pick this random video of my friend playing horrible golf.
Yeah.
You can see here on the scrubber at the bottom, there's a new icon that looks like subtitles, and that's exactly what it is. So using on-device intelligence, you can now get subtitles for videos that you filmed on your iPhone. This is really, really cool. Also, the other feature for videos, if I go ahead and pause it right here, it's a horrible time to pause it. If I click on the 3 dots at the top, there's a new option to save video frame as a photo. So if there's a certain moment in a video that you just want to freeze and save as an individual photo, either just to have the photo or maybe make it as your wallpaper, you can now do that by clicking this button in iOS 27. Next up is Connectivity Assist inside of Wi-Fi settings. So click on Wi-Fi in your settings, then scroll down and turn on Connectivity Assist. What this is going to do is your iPhone is going to sometimes use cellular data if the Wi-Fi connection is not very strong. So this is good, for example, if you're leaving your house, your iPhone is trying really hard to stay on your home Wi-Fi network, even though the connection and the internet signal is not going to be good at all. So having Connectivity Assist turned on is going to help your iPhone just work more seamlessly as you're moving between cellular and Wi-Fi. Below the toggle, it's going to tell you exactly how much data you've used using this feature because, like I said, it is going to use cellular data a little bit more even though you are on Wi-Fi, just to make your iPhone web experience a little bit better. If you don't want to go over your data though, I'd recommend turning this off, but it is going to make switching between networks on your iPhone a lot better. Next up is a pretty cool feature I found for photos. So if you go ahead and open up settings and then search for photos, there's a new option right here that says sync immediately. It's turned off, but if you go into it, you can just choose for today. So by default, your iPhone isn't going to back up all of your on Wi-Fi and be you're plugged in and the phone is sitting at like 3 a.m. But for example, if you're on vacation and get synced with the Play 27, it's really convenient because you can just swipe it away just like a notification if you don't want to see them. We all thread, click on this plus button, and it'll open up just a blank canvas and you can draw pretty much whatever you want in here and then you can send it off to your friend. Something else new in Photos is now the ability to add keywords to your photos and videos. So this goes on top of the previous ability to add a caption. If you scroll down, you can now add keywords right to your photos and videos. And adding on top of this, something else that's new is you can see right below the photo is the option to instantly ask Siri about a photo or do a reverse image search. This
Yeah.
next one is pretty small, but just in terms of design and how it looks on your iPhone, it's one of my favorite small tweaks in iOS 27. So when you're
Really?
in Control Center, if you choose Timer, you now get this really sick UI that comes out of the island on
Oh,
your
okay.
iPhone, and you can choose exactly how long you want your timer
I
for.
don't think
And
I
as you're
have
scrolling through it, you get some really
iPhone
satisfying haptic
27
feedback
yet.
on your iPhone. This UI is just fantastic. And Apple has also redesigned all of the artist pages in Apple Music. In my opinion, it looks a little bit more like Spotify now. But you can see here is what the artist page now looks like. I believe in iOS 26, the play button was on the right and it was like a red color. It just looked really ugly. But now you can see in iOS 27, the artist pages look a lot more clean and it's just way more satisfying to look at. The next hidden feature is inside of the wallet application. In iOS 27, we now have the option to create our own custom passes. Camera where you can scan either the QR code or the barcode. It's almost insane. So I have a photo selected and I'm in the airdrop menu. If I go ahead and select my iPad, the default option, Luck 27, Apple has the menu. Also, I figured out, I don't know if this was here in iOS 26. If it was, I'm looking really stupid right now, but correct me in the comments. But it looks like we now have the option to add an even bigger widget on your home screen. If I go ahead and add this, yeah, I don't think this was here before. So we can now have full screen widgets on our iPhone's home screen.
Okay.
This makes me think about the upcoming foldable iPhone where you might want to have an even larger widget than the ones we had before. This next one is another one inside of Photos. In iOS 27, Apple has made the cleanup feature a lot better. So if we go into the Tools menu when editing a photo and then click on Cleanup, the first thing I notice is it takes a lot less time to actually load the cleanup tool. But the first thing is at the top, we have auto, but we can change it from fast to high quality. So if you want the best results out of cleanup, I'd recommend choosing high quality. But then you can pretty much remove anything from a photo now, and it just works so much better than iOS 26. So let's go ahead and try to remove this lawnmower in real time. I'll do my best job to highlight the entire thing. I think that's all right. So let's see what it can do. I'll tap on the cleanup button, and let's see if it can completely eliminate the lawnmower and look like it was never there. And there we go. You can see the lawnmower is completely gone. It even added an extra dead patch in my lawn, which I don't really like, but this is crazy. It looks like the lawnmower was never even there in the first place. So yeah, cleanup is a lot better in iOS 27. If you avoided using it in iOS 26 because of how bad it was, you need to try it now in this latest update because it is so much better.
Looks better.
Next up is inside of the Health app. It's a pretty small one, but it's a nice design update that I appreciate. So when you're inside of Health, before in iOS 26, when you were on the Browse menu, it was a pretty boring list, just with text. But now this actually looks a lot better, and we actually have color codes and everything to this Browse menu. So the Health app, in my opinion, is going to be A, a lot better looking, and B, a lot easier to navigate with this new menu. Next up is inside of Safari. Apple has made one singular change in Safari that makes me just love browsing the web now. It's just so much better. So I'll show you inside of settings. So if I search for Safari settings, if you are using the compact layout, which is set by default on your iPhone, there's one change that Apple made, which I love, and I'll show you right now. So when you are on a website, you can see on the bottom right, the first button is now the tabs button, thank God. In iOS 26, to get to your tabs, you have to click this button twice, and I don't know why. It was a fear I honestly ever, because luckily we can now completely remove this in iOS 27, and I'm so happy that we can. So open up.
All right. This video was not that interesting. I'm not gonna lie.